Hello friends, in this part we are going to discuss user module of inventory management system by using PHP script with Ajax JQuery Datatable Plugin, Bootstrap library and Mysql Database. In this module we will load user data from user details table using JQuery Datatable Plugin. We will also discuss how to add new user into system, edit existing user details and active-inactive user login. Now we have go to user.php page, and on this page first we want to make database connection. So under this page we have write include statement with database connection.php. This code will make database connection on this page. After this we want to restrict user to directly access this page without login to system, so we have write if statement, and under condition we have write not operator with is set function with $session type variable. This condition will check if this session type variable value is not set, that means user is not login into system. Then it will execute if block of code. So suppose $session type variable value is not set, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block we have write header function with location set to login.php page. It will redirect user to login page if user directly access this page. After this we have write include statement, and under this we have write header.php page. This code will include all code of header.php under this user.php. Now we have moved to HTML code, and here we have write span tag with attributed is equal to alert action. Under this tag we will display success message on web page. After this we have write define one table with attributed is equal to user data and class is equal to table, table bordered and table striped. Under this table we have defined 6 table column like user id, email, name, status, edit and delete. Under this table we will load user data by using JQuery Datatable Plugin. Now we have moved to jQuery code, and here we have write variable user data table is equal to with table id user data with data table method. This method we will activate Datatable Plugin on table id user data. Under this data table method we have set processing option set to true. This option will activate processing option of Datatables plugin. Then after we have write other option like server side option set to true. This option activates server side operation. After this we have write order option set with blank array. In datatable method we have write Ajax method, and under this method we can define URL option set to userFetch.php. We have send request to this userFetch.php page. And under Ajax we have also write second option like type set to post. Here we have use post method. Suppose we want to remove table column order from 5th and 6th table column, because in 4 and 5th table we have display edit and delete button, and this plugin will automatically activate order sorting. So remove table column Ajax order. So we have write column definition option, and under this option we have write targets option, and under this option we have write table column number like 4 and 5 in array format. For remove order we have write orderable option set to false. This option will remove table column order from above defined table column. After defined data table definition, Now we have moved to write PHP code in user_fetch.php page. So first we have make database connection on this page, so we have write include statement with database connection.php file. On this page first we have write $query variable is equal blank value. In this variable we will create select query for fetch data from users details table. Then after we have also write $output variable is equal to array data type. In this variable we will store users details table data in HTML format. After this we have write $query variable, and in this variable we have append query like select star from users details table where user type is equal to user, and this query will select only sub-user data from user details table when master user login into system. Now we have write if statement, and in condition we have write is set function with $post search value variable. If we have write something in search box, then this condition will true and it will execute if block of code. Under this condition we have write $query variable, and in this variable we have append query like where user email like $post search value variable %. Here $post search value variable value get from data tables search box, and it will search in user email table column. Again we have write $query variable, and we have append query like or username like $post search value variable with %sign. This will search in username table column data. After this we want to also search user status table column data also, so we have write $query variable, and we have append query like or user status like $post search value variable with %sign. This will search in user status table column data. After this we have again write if statement, and in condition we have write is set function with $post order variable. If we have click on any table column order, then this condition will true and it will execute this if block of code. Under this block we have write $query variable, and under this variable we have append query like order by $post order 0 column variable with $post order 0 directory variable. So when we have click on table column order arrow, then this block of code will execute. Otherwise it will execute else block of code, and under this we have write $query variable, and under this variable we have append query like order by user id in descending order. So this code order table column order. Now we have write if statement again for limit the data per page, so we have write if statement, and under this we have write $post length variable value is not equal to -1. So when page load this condition will be true. Under this block we have write $query variable, and under this variable we have append query like limit $post start variable comma $post length variable. This query for display data per page. Now we have write $statement variable is equal to database connection string like $connect variable with prepare statement, and under this statement we have write $query variable. After this we want to execute this prepare statement, so we have write $statement variable with execute method. This method will execute prepare statement. Now we want to fetch result from query execution, so we have write $result variable is equal to $statement variable with fetch all method. This method will fetch a result from query execution and store into $result variable. Then after we have write $data variable is equal to array data type. In this variable we will store user data. Now we want to get the number of rows in query result, so we have write $filtered rows variable is equal to $statement variable with row count method. This method will return number of rows from query result. After this we want to fetch data from $result variable, so we have write for each loop with $result variable as $row variable. By using for each loop we will fetch data from $result variable. Under this loop we have write $status variable is equal to blank value. Under this variable we will store user status data. Below this we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $row user status variable is equal to active. This condition will check if $row user status variable value is equal to active, then it will execute if block, otherwise it will execute else block of code. Suppose $row user status variable value is equal to active, then it will execute if block of code, and under this block we have write $status variable is equal to span tag with class is equal to label success with active text. But suppose $row user status variable value is not equal to active, then it will execute else block of code, and under this we have write $status variable is equal to span tag with class is equal to label danger with text inactive. After this we have define one new variable $subarray is equal to array data type. Under this variable first we want to store value of user id table column, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to $row user id variable. After this we want to store user email id table column data, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to $row user email variable. Now we want to store username table column data into $subarray variable, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to $row username variable. Lastly, in $subarray variable we want to store value of $status variable, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to $status variable. Now we want to create update data button and store into $subarray variable, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to button tag with attribute type is equal to button, name is equal to update, id is equal to $row user id variable, class is equal to update, and button text is equal to update. Here in id attribute we have stored dynamic value of user id table column. Same way we want to create delete button and store into $subarray variable, so we have write $subarray variable is equal to button tag with attribute type is equal to button, name is equal to delete, id is equal to $row id variable, class is equal to delete, and button text is equal to delete. Here also we have store dynamic value in id attribute. After this now we store $subarray variable value into $data array variable, so we have write $data array variable is equal to $subarray variable. So this we have fetch data from user details table and store into $data variable. Now we want to get total of rows from users details table. So for this first we have create one function getTotal all records function with $connect variable as argument. This function will return total records from user details table. Under this function we have write $statement variable is equal to database connection variable $connect variable with prepare method with statement like select star from user details table where user type is equal to user. Now we want to execute this prepare statement, so we have write $statement variable with execute method. This method will execute prepare statement. And in this function lastly we have write return statement with $statement variable with row count function. This function return number of rows from query execution. Now we have write $output variable is equal to array, and in this array we have write first key draw with value $post draw variable. In second key we have write records total key with value $filtered rows variable in which we have store rows. In third key we have write records filtered with value get from get total all records function with $connect variable as argument. And last key we have write data with $data variable in which we have store user details table data. After store all data in $output variable, now we want send to Ajax request, so we have write echo statement with JSON encode function with $output variable. This function will convert PHP array to JSON string and send to Ajax request. Now we have save code and check output on browser. Friends, you can see when page has been loaded, then we can see that user details table data has been displayed into Datatables plugin. Here you can see user data in Datatables plugin with extra feature like search table data, Ajax table column order and pagination automatically. This all feature we have get by using Datatables plugin. We can also see update and delete button also. Now we have moved to write add data new data. So we have go to user.php page and here write button tag with attribute type is equal to button, name equal to add, id is equal to add button data toggle is equal to modal, data target is equal to hash user modal and button text add. Here data toggle attribute is used for direct action to modal and data target attribute is used for activate user modal. Now we want to create user modal for insert data form. So first we have write division tag with attribute id is equal to user modal and class is equal to modal and fade. Under this division tag we have write division tag attribute class is equal to modal dialog. This class define modal. Then after under this tag we have define form tag with attribute method is equal to post. It is equal to user form. After this we have write division tag with attribute class is equal to modal header. This class define header of modal and under this tag we have one close modal button and header tag with class is equal to modal title with text like add user. After defining header now we have write division tag with attribute class is equal to modal body. This class define body of modal. Under modal body we have define form element and first we have create text box for enter username. So we have write input type is equal to text with attribute name is equal to username and it is equal to username and attribute required for require validation. Same way for enter user email, so we have write input type is equal to email for email validation with attribute name is equal to user email and it is also equal to user email and required attribute for required field validation. Below this for enter user password details, so we have write input type equal to password with attribute name is equal to user password. It is equal to user password with required attribute for required field validation. After defining form field in modal body now we have write division tag with attribute class is equal to modal footer. this class define footer of modal. In this modal we have write input type is equal to hidden with attribute name is equal to user id and id is equal to user id. In this tag we will store id of user. After this we have also defined one more hidden tag with attribute name is equal to button action and also equal to operation and value is equal to add. In this tag we will store action like insert or update. Below this tag we have create one submit button like input type is equal to submit with attribute name is equal to action id is equal to action and value is equal to add. When we will click on this button form will be submitted. Now we have moved to write jQuery code for insert data, so we have write $ with document selector with on method, and under this method we have write submit event with form id user form with one function event. So when form will submit then this code will execute. Under this code first we have write event.prevent default method. This method will stop to submit form data. After this we want to disable submit button, so we have write $ with button id action with attribute method with two argument like disabled. This code will disable submit button after form submission. Now we have defined form data variable is equal to $this serialize method. This method will convert form data into URL encode string and store into form data variable. Now we have write Ajax request, and in this first we have write URL option set to user action.php. We have send request to this page. In second option we have write method option and set to post method. We have use post method for send data to server. In third option we have define which data we want to server define in data option, so we have write data option set to form data in which we have store form data in URL encoded form. In last option we have write success callback function. This function has been called if request success and it will receive data from server which we can access from data argument. Under this function first we want to reset user form, so we have write $ with form id user form 0 index with reset method. This method will reset all form field. Now we want to hide user modal, so we have write $ with modal id user modal with modal method with hide. After this we want to display data variable value under span tag id alert action, so we have write span tag alert action with fade in method with HTML method, and under this we have write data variable. Then after we want to enable submit button, so we have write $ with button id action with attribute method with two argument. In first argument we have write disabled and in second argument we have write false. This code will enable submit button. And lastly we want to reload data tables, so we have write user data table.ajax.reload method. This method will reload data table on web page without refresh of page. Now we have more to write insert data PHP code in user action.php file, and under this file first we have include database connection file. After this we have write if statement, and in condition we have write is set function with $post button action hidden variable. This condition will check if value of this hidden button action variable value is set, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block we have again write if statement with condition like $post button action variable value is equal to add. This condition will check if value of this variable is add, then it execute if block of code. So suppose this variable value is add, then it will execute if block of code, and here we have write $query variable is equal to insert into user details table with table column like user email, user password, username, user type and user status with values get from user email, user password, username, user type and user status. This is insert user data query. Now we have write $statement variable is equal to $connect variable with prepare statement with $query variable. This statement will make query for execution. Now we want to execute query, so we have write $statement with execute method with array with key : user email value get from $post user email variable. Second key : user password value get from password hash method with two argument like $post user password and password default method. Here we have use password hash method for convert $post user password variable value to encrypted password. In third key we have write username key value get from $post username. Fourth key : value user and fifth key user status value active. This way we can execute query by using execute method using this array. After this we have write $result variable is equal to $statement variable with fetch all method. This method will fetch a result from query execution and store into $result variable. Now we want to check data inserted or not, so we have write if statement and under condition we have write is set function with $result variable. This condition will check if this variable value is set or not. If set, that means data properly inserted. So under this block we have write echo statement with message like new user added. This message will display on web page to user. Now we have check output in browser. Friends, here you can see that when page has been loaded then user's data has been displayed in table format with update and delete button, and above this table we can see the add button. So we have click on add button. After clicking add button, modal has been displayed on web page with 3 table field. So in first field username we have enter Peter Parker. In second field user email text box we have write peterparker@gmail.com, and in last password field we have enter password. Now we have click on add button. After clicking on add button we have received data has been inserted message on web page, and inserted data has been displayed under data tables with update and delete button. Now we have log out from this system and log in with this new user login details. So here we have enter peterparker@gmail.com as email, and in password we have enter password and click on login button. After click on login button, newly created user can log in into system. So here our code is working for add new user to system. So we have log out from system and log in with master user and go to user page. Now we want to update this user data, so here you can see update button, and in this button we have one attribute class is equal to update, and in id attribute we have store user id. So based on this things we will fetch data from user table and display under modal form, and then after we will update this data. So we have go user page query code, and here we have write $document as selector with on method, and under this method we have write click event with button class update with function. So when we have click on update button then this code will execute. Under this first we want to get user id, so we have defined one variable user id is equal to $this selector with attribute method, and under this method we have write id attribute. This code will fetch value of id attribute and store into this user id variable. Below this we have define button action variable is equal to fetch single. We will use this variable value at server side for fetch single user data. Then after we have write $.ajax request, and under this request first we have write URL option set to user action.php page. Here we have send request to this file. In second option we have write method set to post method. We have use post method for send data to server. In third option we can define which data we want send to server. Here we have write user id and button action variable, so we have send value of user id and button action variable value send to server. In fourth option we have write data type. Here we can define in which data type you want received data from server, so here we have write JSON data type. So it will receive data in JSON data type format. Lastly, in Ajax request we have write success callback function. This function has been called if request completed successfully, and it will receive data from server. In this function first we want show this user modal on web page with data, so we have write $with modal id user modal with modal method, and under this method we have write show. This code will initialize modal on web page. After this we want to fill username text box with data, so we have write $with text box at username with value method, and under this method we have write data.username which we will receive from server. Then after we want to fill user email text box with data, so we have write $with user email text box at user email with value method, and under this method we have write data.user email. Now we want to change modal title from add user to edit user, so we have write $with class name modal title with HTML method, and under this method we have write edit user. It will change modal title. After this we want to assign user id variable value to hidden field with id user id, so we have write $with hidden field id user id with value method, and under this method we have write user id variable. Now we want to also change action button name from add to edit, so we have write $with button id action with value method, and under this method we have write text edit. And we want to change value of button action hidden field also, so we have write $with hidden field id button action with value method, and under this method we have write edit text. So it will change hidden field value to add to edit. Lastly, we want to remove required attributes from user password field, so here we have write $with password text box at user password with attribute method with two argument like required and false. This code will remove required attribute from user password text box. Now we have go to user action.php page, and on this page we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $post button action variable value is equal to fetch single. So if this variable value is equal to fetch single, then it will execute if block of code, and under this block we have write $query variable is equal to select star from user details table where user id is equal to :user id. This simple select query will fetch particular user details from user details table. Now we have write $statement variable is equal to $connect variable with prepare statement with $query variable. Now we want to execute this query, so we have write $statement variable with execute method with :user id variable get from $post user id variable in array. This will execute query. After this we have write $result variable is equal to $statement with fetch all method. This method will fetch a result from query execution and store into $result variable. Now we have write for each loop with $result variable as $row variable. Here we have fetch data from $result variable by using for each loop. Under this loop we have write $output user email variable is equal to $row user email variable. Same way we have write $output username variable is equal to $row username variable. This way we have store user data in $output variable. So we have store all data in $output array variable. Now we want to send this data to Ajax request in JSON format, so we have write echo statement with JSON encode function with argument $output variable. This function will convert PHP array to JSON string and send to Ajax request. Now we have check output in browser. Here friends, you can see that when we have click on update button of any user data, then modal has been initialized on web page with form field has been filled with data. Here add button name has been changed to edit and modal title has been changed to edit user. So now when we have click on this edit button, then user data has updated and display on web page. So when we have click on edit button and form data has been submitted via Ajax, and we have already write query code on this event, and in that we have send request to useraction.php file, so we have directly go to useraction.php file. On this file here we have write if statement with $post button action variable value is equal to edit. This condition will check if this variable value is equal to edit, then this if block of code will execute. If value is equal to edit, then it will execute this block of code, and under this block we have write $post user new password variable value is not equal to blank. If master user want to change password, then it will execute if block of code, and if master user do not want change password, then it will execute else block of code. Suppose master user want to change password, then it will execute if block of code, and under this block we have write $query variable is equal to update user details set username is equal to $post username variable, user email variable is equal to $post email variable. User password is equal to password has method with two argument like $post user new password and password default, where user id is equal to $session and user id variable. This update query will execute if user want to change password, and here we want to store encrypted password, so here we have use password hash method. But suppose user do not want to change password, then it will execute else block of code, and under this block we have write $query variable is equal to update user details table set username is equal to $post username variable, user email is equal to $post user email variable, where user id is equal to $post user id variable. This update query will execute if user do not want to change password, then this update query will execute. Now we have write $statement variable is equal to $connect variable with prepare statement with $query variable. This prepare statement will make query for execution. After this we want to execute update query, so we have write $statement variable with execute method. This method will execute query. Below this we have write $result variable is equal to $statement with fetch all method. This method will fetch query execution result and store into $result variable. Now we want to check profile updated or not, so if statement and under condition we have write is set function with $result variable. This condition will check if this $result variable value is set or not. If $result variable value is set, then it will execute if block of code, and under this we have write echo statement with message like user details edited. This message will be seen on web page. Now our code is ready, so we have saved this code and check output in browser. Friends, here you can see user data in table format. Now we want to update some data, so here you can see first data which we have inserted last time. So here we have click on update button. After clicking this button, modal has been pop up with data. Now we have changed username from Peter Parker to Mark Parker and click on edit button. After clicking edit button, data updated message has been pop up on web page, and on table data has been changed to Peter Parker to Mark Parker. That means our code is working. So now we have moved to write code for delete button. So in delete button we have also defined class name is equal to delete as jQuery selector in attributed. We have also store user id value into this attribute. So we have go to user page jQuery code, and here we have write $document as selector with on method with click event, class name delete with function. So when we have click on delete button, then this code will execute. Under this first we have write variable user id variable is equal to $this with attributed. This will fetch data from id attribute and store into user id variable. Below this we have defined status variable is equal to $this status. Here we have fetch value from data status attribute and store into status variable. In this we have store particular user status data. After this we have defined button action variable is equal to delete. We will use this variable value to define delete action in server code. After this we have write if with confirm message like are you sure you want to change status. If we have click on delete button, then it will pop up this message with two button OK and cancel. If we have click on cancel button, then it will execute else block of code, and under this block we have write return false. So when we have click on cancel button, then no action will be performed. But suppose we have click on OK button, then it will execute if block of code, and under this we have write Ajax request with first option URL set to user action.php page. In second option we have write method, and we have set post method for send form data to server. In third option is data, and in this we have send used, status and button action variable value to server. In Ajax last we have write success callback function. This function has been called if Ajax request successfully completed. First we want to display value of data variable under span tagged alert action, so here we have write $with span tagged alert action with HTML method, and under this method we have write data argument. And after this we want to reload data tables data, so we have write user data table.ajax.reload method. It will reload data table and updated data on web page without refreshing web page. Now we have go to user action.php page, and on this page we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $post button action variable value is equal to delete. This condition will check if this variable value is equal to delete, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block we have write $status variable is equal to active. After this we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $post status variable value is equal to active. Here this condition will check if this variable value is equal to active, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block we have write $status variable is equal to inactive. So if $post status variable is equal to active, then at that time $status variable value will be changed to inactive. Now we have write query variable is equal to update user details table set user status is equal to : user status where user id is equal to : user id. Below this we have write $statement variable is equal to $connect variable with prepare statement with $query variable. Now we want to execute this prepare statement query, so we have write $statement variable with execute method with : user status and useId value get from $status and $post useRid variable in array format, and it will change user status. After this we have write $result variable is equal to $statement variable with fetch all method. This method will fetch a result from query execution and store into $result variable. Now we want to check data updated or not, so we have write if statement, and under condition we have write is set function with $result variable. This condition will check if this $result variable value is set, then it will execute if block of code. So under this block we have write echo statement with message like user status change value of $status variable will be see on web page. Lastly, we do not allow sub-user to access this page, so we have go to user.php page. On this page we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $session type variable value is not equal to master. This condition will check if this $session type variable value is not equal to master, then it will execute if block of code and that user is not master user but sub-user. Under this block we have write header function with location set to index.php page, so when sub-user try to access this page then it will redirect to index page. Now we have check output in browser. Friends, here you can see that user data on table with edit delete button, so when we have click on delete button then pop message box appear on web page with OK and cancel button, so when we have click on cancel button then no action perform, so we have again click on delete button and now click on OK button. After click on OK button we have received message user status has been changed to inactive, and on web page we can see that user status has been changed to inactive with red color, and now this user cannot log in into system. So we have log out from this system and try to log in with inactive user details. So here we have write peterparker@gmail.com and in password we have enter password and click on login button. After click on login button we have received your account is inactive. So we have again login with master user data. After login with master data and go to user page, and here we have again click on delete button, and after click on delete button that user status has been changed to active from inactive. So we have again log out from system and try to log in with Peter Parker user data. So here we have write peterparker@gmail.com and in password we have enter password and click on login button. Now we have successfully logged in into system and seen index with mon-like order. So in this module we have discussed user management like create new user, change existing user data, active and inactive particular user login, and display user data under jQuery Datatable Plugin. In next part we will discuss category management module. If you have any query regarding this video tutorial part, please comment your query in comment box, and if you like this video tutorial please share with your friends, or even you can also share on social media also. If you want to get more update regarding our video tutorial, please subscribe our YouTube channel for get more update regarding release of future video. Lastly, keep watching our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video tutorial.